What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, DJ Special D, aka That Singer. We are live right here on Powered Up. And we are sitting here with my man, Courtney B from the Jersey area. What's going on, my man?
What's going on, brother? How you been?
I'm doing good. I've been waiting to talk with you. I've heard a lot of great things about you, and want to get to digging into some of these inquiries that I've been hearing about you, man. Can you, while we get started, can you go ahead and tell everybody about yourself, who you are and where you're from?
I'm Courtney B. I'm the CEO of British Connections Management, based out of Newark, New Jersey. CEO of Hip Hop Herald magazine, producer, just a hit maker. You know what I'm saying? Ain't too much to know. They already know.
Yeah, I already know. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I already know. All right. And how did you get started in the entertainment industry?
May rest in peace, Tay One from the Artifacts. That's my best friend. I grew up with him in grade school, Wycliffe, and we all went to the school together. So once after high school, Tay said, "Come on over, manage me." So I distanced myself from the foodies because Wycliffe, distanced myself from Wycliffe because they didn't like paying nobody. You know what I'm saying? Lauryn Hill didn't want to pay the producers. Wycliffe didn't want to pay the acts. Lazy Kate, she's a radio announcer. She's a DJ, female. Didn't want to pay her. So I can't do it. People got to eat. You know what I'm saying? So Artifacts was the best thing.
Okay. So with that being said, what was your next move? You know, when you were doing that.
After Artifacts, well, before Artifacts, between then, I used to go back and forth to New York. Met up with Tupac downtown Symphony Hall. He was doing the show with Digital Underground. He was with and then Queen Latifah was performing, and that's when Jay-Z first came out. It was back in the days. That's when, because Jay-Z, I remember Jay-Z had a pair of cowboy boots on.
Yeah.
Had the boots, no diss, Jay-Z, just saying it. You know what I'm saying? There was the style back there. Had his jeans packed in his boots and a triple fat, some type of goose. So, you know, it was, today you look like, what is this? But back then he was fresh. And that's when I met Pac backstage at Symphony Hall in Newark. And we became real cool, like road dogs, real cool. So I went on going to Big Beat with Craig Hellman, pushing this before Lil' Kim came over. It was just Del X Posse and Artifacts.
So you had relations with Tupac as well. So it was like you were affiliated with I'm understanding it was Tupac and the manager of Tupac and Big Pun and things of that nature.
I was more connected with Liza, a female out in LA. I was more her, you understand? And then the funniest thing, he moved to Baltimore. I was in Baltimore. He was up on 33rd and York Road. Is it York Road? It's on the corner. It's on the corner. We always, the weirdest thing, we always run into each other. I found myself in New York. I was sitting on his steps. I didn't even know it was his steps. And he came out. He said, "Dog," turned around. He said, "What the hell are you doing here?" I was high as hell. I just came from the menu spot, smoked some chocolate, smoked some haze. I had a rest and dehydrated. So he came to rescue there.
Okay. So as you were, and then this is kind of like when you were kind of growing in the industry at that time.
My first year in the industry.
Okay. And so when you were getting into that, like, who were some of the artists that you might have worked with at that time?
Well, as back then, that's when Pac got shot.
Right.
In Vegas. But before then, he called me. He said, "Yo, I'm sending Hussein Fatal home." He was one that on me, crashed my Land Cruiser. He done tried to get in the club with a gun, get him a deal. So I said, "Got you, Pac." So I came up to Montclair. I ran to Buff Williams. He helped me produce Fatal Demo to get a shot at Sony. But instead, I can't remember the guy's name at Sony. I said, you know what? I'm gonna bring him over to Relativity Records. You know what I'm saying? DJ Honda was there, Big Pun. At the time, Fat Joe left. So it was Big Pun, it was Fat Joe, MOP, Dayton Family, 3-6 Mafia. So he was over there with everybody in common.
Some heavy hitters.
Then we heard he, you know what I'm saying? He got shot. Things like went like free fall.
Yeah.
And between then, before then, I was working with this guy named Slim 21 from St. Louis. He came over, he flew over. He flew over to represent for Nelly.
Okay.
So I hooked him up with a lawyer named Michael Maury. And then Maury did the contract with University Records.
Okay.
You understand? Just recently, back in, I say, 2000 or 2019, I started working with Beanie Siegel.
Okay.
And then from there, I was working with Hurricane Chris. So there's a lot more big draws. Can't forget my artist, Big Draws. He's the next one dropping. Yeah. But
So
on
I was gonna say, how did you get hooked up with Nelly?
Through, like I was saying, his name was Slim 21.
Slim 21.
Yeah, he's from St. Louis. They flew him over to see me. They heard about me, so flew over there. We worked on this package, got it down to Maury at the his attorney, downtown Newark, and he it went from there. I set up with University Records, and they went from there.
So when you heard the song that Nelly put out, that Ride With Me song, that was when you had your name in that song.
Right.
How'd you feel? I know you were riding down the road and you hear it. How did you feel that first time you heard your name in that song?
When I didn't hear that first, people was hitting my phone.
Yeah.
It was like, Port Big dude from New Jersey talking about the party at NYC. And I didn't know they was talking. I thought they was talking parties I was doing, such and such. Then I cut on the radio because my CD got too hot. You know, back then was CDs and radio. So I took the CD out, the changer, and it came on again. This is another big one for Nelly from St. Louis, Louisiana, Country Grammar. And it started playing. Then it said, I got a phone call from Courtney B up in New Jersey, talking about the party up at NYC. Had him sitting first class next to Vanna White. I was like, it was like God made. So
that's what's up. So I mean, you know, whenever you got Nelly that first deal, how was it getting him that deal? Because from what I'm understanding, you were an intricate part that was played in getting him that first deal.
Yes, I was. I didn't go in the room because he was already managed up everything. Like I said, a lawyer named Maury Winkler, that was my lawyer first with Artifacts in the beginning, negotiated everything. So I stood back, you know. Slim 21 came and paid me. It was beneficial, very beneficial. And I was proud, you know, just see with me, just because I'm not your manager, don't mean I can't consult you and help you get to the next level. You understand? And it's not about managing, because sometimes managing can be a headache, especially today. Artists getting shot, all types of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so it's more, I'm more don't have a problem starting from the beginning, because I'm always in, not just for winning, they're taking a loss.
Right.
And then, because some, not talking about none of the artists we just spoke about, but some artists get paid, they don't deliver music right, they end up putting things on the street that take them off the street, and it's a wrap.
Now, when you say they end up putting things to take them off the street, are you talking about like some of the, like when the police are looking for that music or whatever type of deal?
I'm talking more like guns and drugs.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Just still living that life.
Living that life. Like T.I., he went and got all them off the street.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Freddie Wap, Trap King.
Yeah.
Took him off the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, who are some of the other artists that you like, artists that you may have worked with, or since then, you know, that you've been working with?
Since then, I done work with Mike Geronimo back in the days. Common on the road. 3-6 Mafia, always all that relativity. Fatal, Hussein Fatal did a joint with Gangsta Bull. I worked with Femi. You know, Femi, he did the song with Pop, Smile With Me.
Okay. Yeah.
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 We did a song with him and Fatal. It's Strange State Easy E wife. Went out there, worked with her. We was out in LA.
Okay.
Very beautiful woman, real intelligent. It's a lot. I can't really pull off. Yeah.
Okay. Well, as I'm looking at the state of the industry today, I look at it's personally, I mean, I see it just kind of discombobulated a little bit, because you got, you know, your trap music, you got your your knowledge hip hop, your conscious, you know, I mean, everybody's got a different category that they're trying to put themselves in. Where do you see the state of the industry at today, as far as in the hip hop industry?
It's definitely changed. It's definitely not calling an artist a young boy, but it's at a young stage. You understand? There's no more Chuck D. You understand? No more Bismarck. May he rest in peace. You understand? No more Big Daddy Kane. And then earlier, it's no more 50 Cent. It's ACs. You can't put them in them lanes. Everybody got their own lane. If it's a clock, each one of them will have a number. You know what I'm saying? The most inspirational rapper to me now is Baby from Atlanta, Lil Baby. You understand? Yeah. He's making money. That's the only thing I can understand in music, if you making money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, Rick Ross, he's in Atlanta as well. Special Jeezy, I can't forget about Jeezy. Jay-Z. Only listen. Let me tell you who I listen to. DMX, may he rest in peace. 50 Cent. Jay-Z. Not probably 2 or 3 songs of Drake. Not everything. Not everything.
I ain't even gonna touch that one. I already know. I feel you on that one. Yeah,
Drake,
yeah, commercialized. You know, commercial stuff.
And Aston Martin music, he say my name. He gave me big props up on that. So Beanie Siegel, of course, Beanie Siegel.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. And some of Rick Ross. I could say about 70% of Rick Ross I listen to. I don't read the tracks, but you know, but there's no more the Busta Rhymes and Never Be, and especially Lil Bump, Paco, all of that. Pac and Hussein Fatal and Big Draws.
See, now after asking that question, my next question is obvious. What's your top 5 all time, dead or alive?
Top 5 is 1, Pac, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Biggie, and DMX. That's all in my chain, but that ain't what I listen to. That's
yeah. That's a hot top 5. I give it to you. I like that. I like that top 5. That's a contender. I like that. Yeah.
In my life, I don't have accidents. But when I start listening to all that other music, I'm bound to have slam on brakes or something. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm busy, but I tilt my head, forget to look straight. So those bodies driving, and I drive. You know what I'm saying?
So how do you? I know back when we was coming up, because I know I'm 46, so I mean I'm not behind you too far. But when I look at the state of music today, things have went from where I started from. We went from records to tapes to CDs, now to digital streaming. What's your take on the digital streaming world right now?
I want to ask the artist, how do you know how much streaming you're getting back? How much you get paid for a stream? They don't know.
Right.
You understand? I think they made more money selling cassettes and 12-inch than they did with CDs. Because, you know, when CDs came out, you could burn your CDs. I used to listen to Red Alert late night and make my own cassettes. I sit there and had to push pause, rewind a little bit back, record, listen to the mix he had, and I was gone. I had the masterpiece. You know what I'm saying? But today, I don't know how to get paid off streams, and plus when music come on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
You really monetize it yourself.
Right. So if you in the car, you say, "Oh, you heard what's such?" I say, "Hey, go on YouTube." I ain't gonna say go buy the stream.
Yeah.
Industry. One thing, the industry is not made for artists. It's made for a record label to get rich. You know what I'm saying?
Now, like I heard, I got a partner of mine who's pretty heavy in the industry, and he sent me some footage of I believe it was Lazy Bone. Lazy Bone got a podcast that he runs, and he was talking about how he had met a guy who was a big exec with Sony Records, and Sony Records had put together some type of deal where they were bringing all of their big execs in to corner the market on hip hop. Now, this is back in the early 90s. And they were telling everybody from Sony, we don't need no more conscious rappers, no more political rappers. We don't want nothing but trap rappers. They talking about guns and drugs and all of that because we've invested in prisons.
Right.
And by us investing in these prisons, this is the best way for us to fill these prisons up, is to put this type of music out. Is that something that you may have heard or maybe had an experience with or something like that?
I'm gonna put it like this. It's a question for you. Who do you think started gangster rap?
My personal opinion, I believe it was white people that started gangster rap.
Right. And the white persons was the president. It was Bush's wife and Bush. That's why they came and got Eazy-E to come to the White House. It gave him permission to do gangster rap. F the police. They never was arrested for F the police. You understand? Cops end up asking them for their autographs in the end. You understand? So that whole thing, that was a poison. Because LA don't got trains. They don't got, you understand? They don't, the hip hop originally up in New York. But when NWA started doing gangster rap, the Bush wanted them, gave them the open key to do gangster rap.
Because it was the agenda, per se, it was the agenda of the government to push these drugs into our communities, basically.
Right. Do you know the big weapon that the government have? Not bombs, not missiles, not drones. It's media. Media, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You understand? Even R. Kelly. You take R. Kelly, for instance. His conviction smothered Trump convictions. Everybody forgot about Trump.
Yeah.
Both cases. When Trump first case came along, they did survive with R. Kelly. When Trump came again, they gave him his sentence.
Wow. I wasn't even thinking about that.
And R. Kelly, my man, you understand? Whatever he posed with the jail for doing, if he did it, but not 30 years, 13. 7 should have been a right number for him. Yeah. But why not in jail with him? Snoop got lawsuits of young girls as well. Yeah. That the media could cover up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of lawsuits. 16-year-old, 15-year-old, 17-year-old, that girls he slept with from his videos. Every girl's video was under 17. And that was R. Kelly, man.
Wow.
Partner when they not recording.
Wow.
When 15, 16-year-olds run around high off ecstasy.
Good gracious. I get what you're saying, and I've heard rumors of things of that happening, but when you finally get somebody that you can talk to that may have some insight into it, it's a great thing to add. That's why I love, you know what I'm saying, being able to get with people like yourself who've been a part of this type of world that can give a little insight. And to all the viewers, if you get a chance, make sure you go follow Courtney B and you know what I'm saying, keep up with things like this. Cause I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And you got to get yourself together for that.
And call me a hater because I don't just eat off music. I'm a cultivator. I do about 1,000 pounds a month. I own a solar energy company that supplies 1,600 homes. I have 11 properties back in New Jersey. I do
So it's a real estate company?
It's my personal real estate, Alter Ego.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? Everything is under my label. Got a label. I never put an artist out yet, but I'll put one out this year called Big Draws.
Okay. And what's the name of the label again?
Alter Ego Records.
Alter Ego Records.
Yeah, Alter the Ego Records.
Alter the Ego Records. Okay.
Right. You gotta, when you want to make movies, you gotta own the root of things.
Right.
You know, own a magazine. I can push any artist I want, get a promotion. A lot of people say, oh, people don't carry magazines no more. They like digital. When you come from New York all the way to DC, you don't like digital because you need that charge for your phone calling.
Yeah.
You know, while you sitting there on the phone, you flip through your magazine. Now from DC on, they appreciate music. So they buy it just for like a diploma from high school. That they, you know, coming up, if you're not too far from me, Rap City always had the magazine.
Right.
You know, there was always a magazine back in. Take Run DMC out, LL out, Kumo D, Curtis Blow, those MC Light, Queen Latifah, Redman. You understand? Those was the wallpaper magazine for you. You understand? It's same way about bringing back a hairdo or bell-bottom pants. Magazines will always be there. You understand? Because everybody want to use the charge for their phone or their tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as we progress forward, like to today, and how the state of music is today, I've been taking a look at Kanye, you know, and some of the things, and then Charleston White, you know what I'm saying, people like that are out here doing stuff and making waves out here. What's your take on like people like Kanye West and Charleston White?
I'm gonna say this about Kanye West. He was moving too fast. If you got a warehouse in Japan that bootleg everybody's things from Jordans down to yours, why not get them over to your own warehouse and press up your own sneakers and make your own Kanye West, your Yeezy stores? When we see the gun, we jump. May not be a gun, maybe a shadow, maybe a Afro pick. You understand? So if he'd and did his homework, he would never have to deal with it because he's a brand anyway. He's a household product.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's a household product. So that's my say about him. Charles White, I'm a stand-up guy. Growing up in Newark, I grew up around the Galicios. That's the real Sopranos.
Right.
So I can't go on what he's doing. You understand? If he was saying putting them out there, different. But when he said, I want to put them all in jail, I don't wish jail on nobody.
Yeah.
If you would take it, yes, go to jail. Raping kids, robbing, and killing, yeah, it's something different. If it's your business, if it's in your circle, somebody kill somebody in your circle, that's something different. But just out, he got on white shirt. I think it's a polo sign. He just hit his stash. Nah.
Right.
I can't agree with that. And like I said, America got the worst, best weapon, media. You understand? Imagine how many streams he get, how much money he make with his. Every time Kanye go on TV, everybody stop and listen what he got to say.
Yeah, it's a pause in the world when Kanye come out and say something crazy. So yeah.
Right? It's a powerful weapon to have. It's media.
It is very true, you know, and I've known that for a while. That's one reason why I got into journalism, because I know that we have a voice. You know, a lot of people don't get the chance to hear what's going on because people scared to say things about it or don't want no controversy. I'm not afraid of controversy. I'm not worried about nobody. So it's one of them things where I love to ask those questions, you know. And speaking of that, what's your affiliation with Death Row?
My affiliation was like a yardstick. You understand? I was Tupac. I could say to go guy or road dog, as he say. I was his road dog. Right. When he was I come out to Burbank, or I come out and see Liza or somebody, or I come out with a Wanda booth or whatever. Or before them, he'd call me, you in Baltimore? You in Montclair? Because I used to be in Montclair. That's where most of the outlaws from. 3 of them. Peace out to the outlaws. And I kept my distance with them. You know what I'm saying? I was like Alfred to Batman. But I wasn't his butler or his servants. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because he knew and I knew that once you go to jail and you get set up, you can't trust no one. Yeah. And he'd been through a lot. And one thing about Tupac, his word is his bond, as they say. You know what I'm saying? If he ain't effing with you, he's not effing with you.
Right.
The man lost everything, went into prison. When he came home, Suge was, the funniest thing, Suge wasn't the first one who was going to bail him out. Somebody backdoored this person. Warren G was going to bail him out with no strings attached.
Yeah.
Snoop found out, he told Big Suge. Big Suge got him, he wanted papers attached. He used to say he don't know why these guys saying they love him and why they on him like that. He developed a paranoia. Anybody, if somebody set you up with some sex, excuse me, and put you in prison,
yeah,
on the floor, a trap could run out as far as like a terrorist do, like they did 9/11. They planned it, like they did Mike Tyson. The same crew set Mike Tyson up, set Tupac up. So after that, when he came out to LA, he didn't know Snoop. He didn't know none of them out there. He just knew about Suge, and he wanted to get out of jail.
So he was just doing whatever he felt like he needed to do.
Yeah, I owe you. If you bail me out of jail, I owe you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody said Papa's gonna leave Death Row, he's gonna leave Death Row. Why didn't he leave Death Row? He could have left Death Row and recorded in New York.
Yeah.
His album. He already had albums up there.
Because he was in jail during the All Eyes on Me album.
Right.
And when he came home, that's when he got with Dre and all of them. We got with the California Love and all of that. Yeah. Okay.
I remember when he first put his album, Brenda Got a Baby, and was Brenda Got a Baby and Dear Mama.
Yeah.
That was on the charts.
Yeah.
For weeks and months. Nobody never came and bailed him out. You know what I'm saying? His manager didn't even come bail him out till he got rid of him. When he came out and started dealing with Suge. Then he met Liza. So you got to look at it. You got a big label who put the record out, 2 singles on the top. He can't get bailed out.
Yeah. And nobody, yeah. You know, you're stupid. So yeah.
So tell me, if it don't got to be Death Row, but a label bail you out, you gonna walk away from him?
Right.
He can't. Not say he couldn't come back to New York. He didn't want to come back to New York because look how bad it was.
Right. It was just too much for him to
do. Too much. Yeah. Not saying he didn't have a place to go, but where was he gonna go if he wasn't gonna stay on Death Row? Where was he gonna go? You know what I'm saying? What label was gonna take him?
Right. Because he more of a problem than anything else right now.
Right. Many affiliations. It was politics. So the best thing was either like he was straight to Interschool.
Straight to
you know, Snoop got jealous. He was the man. He couldn't hold it down no more. So when Pac came, all eyes on me. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't listen to Snoop no more. Everybody wanted to get a song with Pac.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Feel like Snoop got a little jealous.
Of course.
Mm.
Of course. You know that.
Yeah. Well, I know Snoop, speaking of Snoop, you know, he just took over Death Row Records. What do you think that's about? Well, how you think about that?
If it's straight Death Row Records, it's a power move. But if he did his a joint with Bad Boys, it's a question I want to ask him. You understand? Could you have stopped Pac from getting killed? Because Pac just see everybody, Pac got killed, Pac got killed. What about his god brother Gaddafi that people forgetting about? You understand? If Pac would never got killed, Gaddafi would not got killed. His mother still mourning today, Gaddafi's mother. You understand? So he don't know what he did. It was a chain reaction from the whole thing.
Wow. That's pretty deep on that one. Cause I haven't really dug into Gaddafi's death, but that's something that by you speaking on it, I'm definitely getting ready to go and look a little deeper into. But
Yeah.
by you saying that, can you elaborate a little more on Gaddafi real quick, just so I can get my head?
Gaddafi was one of the biggest artists on the Outlaws.
Yeah.
Mine.
Hussein Fatal, you know what I'm saying? Shout out. He's been one of my favorites since I heard it. But you know what I'm saying, Gaddafi was, of course, you know what I'm saying.
He was the first out. He was out. He brought Fatal on, and they came back from LA, Los Angeles, once Vegas, all at once, everything stopped. They was all huddled up doing what they do. He decided to go back home to watch the Mike Tyson fight. So he went to Mike Tyson fight, and knock at the door. His girlfriend asked him. He's saying, could he see Gaddafi? Gaddafi came out. She heard a gunshot. When they arrested the guy, he said it was by mistake. Shoot somebody in the stomach, the leg, even the chest is a mistake. But when you aim, Gaddafi is tall. I'm 5'11". Gaddafi at least probably 6 foot. And this guy is small, so that's not a mistake.
Yeah.
You understand? Whenever you play with your friends with a gun.
Right.
You understand?
Oh,
so come to find out, it was another outlaw named Muta.
Yeah.
Cash, first cousin. So it's a lot of questions we ask. Why would your first cousin be going to Gaddafi's house when he chilling with his girl watching the fight? You understand? Usually when you're watching the fight, you sit right next to the couch with your girl, you in your bed laid up.
Right.
He wanted him to come, he would have brought him on his way there, not come while he's already there.
Right.
Like Tyson fights are always late night, you know that. And he was in a house project. So it's a question. You understand? If Pop was alive and that happened, it wouldn't be no more.
Yeah, that does make sense, because anytime Tyson was fighting, it was a main event. It wasn't ever gonna be no 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock fight. You're gonna be to see in the undercards before you see this man. Yeah, I feel what you're saying.
They want to get the ratings.
Yeah. Okay. So as we describe, we talk about Tupac in the industry and his death and things of that nature. Let's take a look at, if Tupac wouldn't have been murdered today, Biggie wouldn't have been murdered, do you feel that hip hop would be in the same state today, with the same people being charged as they are right now? I mean, because I know Nipsey Hussle, he made a big rise, you know what I'm saying, coming through, and he fed off a lot of the stuff that was going on with Tupac as well. So you got Mozzie, you know what I'm saying, the whole crew down in there that's doing a lot of stuff with basically the thug mentality, the thug life or whatnot. That's what they're kind of bringing to you. Do you think that the same power players that are in charge right now would be in charge if Pac and Biggie were still around?
Let me give you the beginning to the end. When Pac and Biggie was beefing, wasn't nobody making, Jay-Z wasn't selling platinum gold. Red selling platinum gold. Artifacts was platinum gold. Labels was suffering while these two labels was going at it. So today, 2022, Biggie and Pac would have been even stronger. Even if they squashed the beef, I think they would never. You understand? They just would have went on making music, not thinking about each other.
Yeah.
They would have had Brooklyn. It wouldn't been no Snoop Dogg because it wouldn't been no. It probably would have been Slim Shady, but it wouldn't have been no 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been no Rick Ross. Rick Ross probably, I would say probably would have been Rick Ross, but I think Rick Ross would have went dealing with Pop. I think he would have dealt with Pop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But no, it wouldn't have been all these Little Baby, Big Baby, or The Baby. It wouldn't have been no lot of them. Because that's when the music industry shift when those two left. What else did you have to listen to but Jay-Z? You know what I'm saying? Nas already was falling. You understand? It would have been Dipset. It still would have been Dipset. It still would have been Western. Who else out there?
See, because I mean, in my opinion, right now, just looking at the game, you got people like Jay-Z running the game. Jay-Z, I mean, DJ Khaled is even coming out right now with being a producer, pushing all of these artists out to the world. But he's using, in my opinion, he's using some of the people that they feel like they want to influence. So they're trying to push an agenda on everybody and tell everybody who is supposed to be the hottest rappers or who's supposed to be the hottest thing, and this is who you got to go after. And I mean, do you feel like it would have still been that same way?
No, it wouldn't been no DJ Khaled. Because then when he first started, I forgot his artist name, his first artist.
Now, I know he was a Big Pun back then, you know what I'm saying?
Before Big Pun, it was Hood. Remember Hood?
Yeah.
It was Hood.
Okay.
He ended up like Lil Wayne. Kanye, see, the thing about DJ Khaled, I hate to say it, but he's a dick rider. You know, jumped from Terror Squad, Hood, Cash Money, Rick Ross, Jay-Z.
Yeah, he got duped by Cash Money. Birdman ripped his
sitting in front of right now. When do you let a man owe you over $50,000?
And you still working?
You get what I'm saying?
That was a dilemma in my mind because Rick Ross came out with the Rivals song. When the song hit the Rivals or whatever, we was talking to Birdman about that deal. It kind of put things in perspective, you know what I'm saying, for a person like myself, you know what I'm saying, because I'm an artist. I used to be an artist working at trying to get myself out there, but stuff like that will make you feel like you getting gypped, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, because he's saying that he getting music from you, but he ain't paying you for it.
But when do you stop?
When
you stop? When you start hiding behind Rick Ross?
Yeah.
And then you want to talk big man?
Yeah, you need some backup to make.
Yeah. Pac made a song like that. You ain't bad to your homeboys come around. You understand? He ain't bad. You understand? You talk all when you with Terror Squad.
Yeah.
When your manager, when your boys that to say, hold up, baby, your bill already 50,000. We not doing nothing. We ain't sending nothing.
Yeah.
Deal with, baby. They know something we don't know. Who knows?
Right.
You know? But I ain't letting no man owe me no $3 million. And I'm still on his tour bus. And he holding bricks like this up to his head. And your pocket's suffering. You understand? You gonna let bricks up to the head, your pocket suffer? Or was he getting paid per diem? He backed up per diem.
I get you.
Yeah. I can't see it. I don't even like for my bills to get over 20,000. So you know he gonna let nobody owe me $3 million.
That's something I've never even thought about, trying to let somebody owe me more than $1,000 myself.
Somebody owe me
couldn't.
Somebody owe me 1,000. They ain't no way I'm seeing them pay me because I'm not gonna call them like I'm their chick. I'm gonna cut them off. That's the worst thing for me to do. Just cut you off.
So do you think he might have got caught up in a situation where he might have needed that money? He done put out the work and he's expecting it to come, but it ain't came yet. But in order for me to try to make the rest of that money, I don't want to burn this bridge because I want to get paid. You think that may have been where he might have been at?
That I think would have been that, or Dre and Joe made some beats. And he went to shop it because he was that close to Birdman. Because I don't see it was close to Birdman, but him. So he close, he getting a beat, and they take it housing for it, and they back. Excuse me, because when you're the producer, you the ingredients.
Yeah.
You the ingredients.
You can't be taken away. You can't be taken away.
No, you can get that one time, but you not won't get no more. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
Right off.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of double back real quick. I want to elaborate more on Death Row real quick. Now, with Snoop making the purchase of Death Row, do you think that he'll be able to bring it back to where they had their same status in the 90s with artists, or do you think it's gonna not be where it used to be?
First, he got to be in front of our eyes. We just hear it in our ears. You know what I'm saying? He talking in our ears like a chick telling us something good because she knows she wants some boots. It's her birthday coming up.
Right.
They Death Row, like for instance, Murder Inc. When you heard the Murder Inc., it was a Murder Inc. They had artists on Murder Inc. You understand? Cash Money. When they said Cash Money, there was a Cash Money. You heard Death Row 6 months ago. Where's the artist on Death Row? So first he got to develop. He first got to put it in front of us. Then he got to have the right artist to take it to the next level. You understand? You go to the next level. He got to have somebody going to sell more records than Lil Baby. You understand?
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
First to that. You understand? Then he got to have somebody sell more records than Cardi B. And then on top of it, they got to trust him. Because when a man like Snoop can't keep his identity, first it was Dog Pound, Jamaican Snoop. I don't know who he is today. You understand? But nobody want to get a banana in their tailpipe. Nobody falling for a banana in their tailpipe. You know what I'm saying? And then with the name Death Row, you understand? He couldn't even hold Death Row down. So how he gonna be the manager, the owner of Death Row?
Now, as I'm talking with you, it sounds like you're not really a fan of Snoop. I mean, what you elaborate on Snoop? I mean, is he locked in like you say he is? Because I mean, you can
never tell. My road dog Tupac, he tell him he don't want to ride with him no more because he's not gangster no more. He got kids. But then you see him doing Crip walk, Crip dance. Then you see him Breakfast Club on the drink team with saying that he a gangster. Nori. He said he a gangster. So when did you stop being a gangster to being a gangster to telling Pac the truth? Yo, me and Puffy best friends. His son hang with my son. Him and my son did a record. His son come to him and Snoop, and his son go to Puffy house. Was he scared for that to come out? You understand? Then he used the media. He used the best weapon. He get to New York. To me and everybody else, he ain't just meet Snoop, Biggie, and Puffy at the radio station with Angie Martinez. They wasn't mad because that. They was mad he pulled the cover over their head and he been with them. While he was making songs dissing Biggie, Snoop was busy letting them know what's next song he dropping.
Man.
So he calls the legacy. People really died for this. You understand? When he caught his murder, only person I seen in court was Tupac and Snoop. Soon as he get free and not sell records, he wanted to hate on Pac. He could have stopped the shooting. You understand?
So with Snoop maybe not being who he is or what he says he is, why haven't the Crips made that known, that you think?
Maybe he paying nice dues. Maybe he's spending a lot of money on the dues.
So you feel like he done bought his way into the Crips?
He probably was already in the Crips. He bought his way to state with the Crips.
To be able to have that, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Paying rent.
I feel you. I feel you.
He,
Cause I have heard a lot of people say you got to pay a toll when you come through. You know,
he paying rent.
Yeah.
I remember before what went wrong with this whole situation. I'm just speculating. It's not true, so don't hold me. When Pac died, he thought he was gonna be the next best thing, but he didn't know Suge was gonna go to jail.
Mm.
You understand? So by Pac dying, Snoop was gonna be the next best thing back on death row. He never knew that radio station was gonna mess up his friendship with Snoop with Pac. They wasn't mad because he was up there with it. He keep telling Angie, Jada Pickett that he got mad because Pac not no faggot. He ain't your girl. He don't care who you be with. When he got mad at all this time, they finally found out who was the double agent letting Biggie and Puffy hear their music before they put it. You know what I'm saying?
So there was so basically what you're saying, there was somebody in Pac's camp that was leaking music.
Leaking. If they sit at each other's table eating, how Puffy become a Crip? How he got so affiliated with Crips? If my son and your son making records together, we're not gonna be beefing with the next man next door. If one of y'all friends, you're not gonna tell. You understand? They just become friends. He knew they was gonna be at the radio station. He told Andy he was gonna be up in New York. Puffy said, "I get the radio station for you," and they came up there.
Oh wow.
He don't know Biggie to say, "Oh, that's my boy." When he ever get a chance, if they was busy making diss songs.
Yeah.
You understand?
So when Biggie made that, do you feel like when Biggie, I know I'm bouncing around, but we're gonna go back to Pac real quick. When Biggie made the Who Shot You song, do you feel like that was made for Pac, or do you feel like that was something that was done before, like he actually said? Because he said it was done before Pac was, but all of this came out. But do you feel like it was a shot at him?
I think it was a shot at him because who got shot around Biggie? We all would have known. You know? We all would have known. Because they say people name peace out to my dog who got shot by such and such. You understand? So if it was made before then, who got shot back then? Lil Siege was still with him. Julia Moffitt still was with him. Kim was still with him. You understand? Undy was still around.
Right.
Mark was still around. So Puffy was still around. So who got shot during that time? Nobody. He took advantage of the situation. Pac got shot, so he knew he was being blamed. They said, "Well, I eat off it."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Pac never said Biggie shot him. He never said Puffy shot him. They didn't have heart to shoot. He said they knew, and they knew he was coming to the studio. They could have warned him.
Could have warned him and could have let him know. Exactly, yeah.
And you could have said, "Yo, Pac, text you. Don't come up here." And then it would have been up to Pac to go up there.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
After all of the things that have been going on since 96, I believe, when Pac passed. Do you believe he's dead?
I hope he's not. And I can understand why he probably didn't want to be, don't want to be alive today.
Yeah.
You know, you listen to music today, it's a headache.
It's going in a whole nother direction.
It's a headache. So if you cash out with you hit the Powerball, you probably do something bigger on a bigger level, but your job is different from a rapper.
Yeah.
So me, I would fade out. I wouldn't fake my death, but everybody got their own agenda, what they do.
Yeah.
So I hope well. You know what I'm saying? I hope he is.
Yeah, live your life, Pac, out there, whatever country you can't get this extradited from, you stay there, my nigga, because I believe you're alive. I hope you see this interview and love it. I'm telling
you. Some people get tired of this. Shot twice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Ain't got time for that no more. I feel, yeah.
None.
If it's a chance for you to be able to get out. For one, it was plotted out. Machiavelli, Really? I mean, that right there just kind of, it's like notes to let somebody know there's something going on here.
Yeah. Like Kanye West. Kanye West letting you know something going on. You know what I'm saying? We probably don't agree how he presented it to us, but we do patient, we probably can understand. Not that we are literate, it's that he giving too much.
At one time.
Yeah, he's so angry. We just dealt with him with his ex-wife. We give him too, you know what I'm saying? So if he was calm and give it to us one segment at a time, briefly, we could understand more. And Pac didn't have a chance to give it to us. Because it was assassination.
Yeah.
It wasn't a shooting or somebody stealing his chain, it was assassination.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Today. And I mean that right there is that lets you know that's a living legend. I mean, excuse me, a legend in everybody's mind. You know what I'm saying? Because when people are still talking about you 20 years after your death, you know, I mean, this you had something going on.
That's right. Because you gotta understand, we all born by a female.
Yeah.
If the father is in the house, that's a plus. That's a blessing. But if your mother raising you and she don't protect you, you feel like you got to protect her now.
Yeah.
But if father don't protect you, you feel like you don't have nobody to protect you. So Suge was like a man, an owner and father. He gave him, he bought him cars, gave him a home. That's what fathers do. You know what I'm saying? Or a great business partner.
Yeah.
So when he seen that they shot up his car, that's disrespect. Like Suge said, he got shot in the head. Pop said, you shot in your head. He knew from the hospital that they ain't respect this big Suge no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then he was gonna go to jail. Suge knew he was gonna go to jail before he went to jail. He violated his parole. You know what violation of parole is?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So he already knew that him going, who's gonna look over him?
Man.
When he know that somebody close to him had something to do with that. You understand? He know that already.
That's how it goes. A lot of times, the closest people to you, the ones that make sure everything is what happened. I mean, you can't really look at somebody you don't know or don't know nothing about you and say that that's the person that did what they did. How they gonna know anything? It's always somebody close to you that make it happen. That's the thing that sticks in most people's mind.
The whooping they gave Andre, the one who put that shot him in Vegas.
Yeah.
Name right, Andre? Well, whatever his name is, the perpetrator that did it.
Andre or something. I know what you're talking about.
They out in the casino.
Yeah.
They said it could go two ways. Either they said, dog, cuz you're not gonna let him stump you out. You better ride on him. You know how they talk. So either he rolled or he didn't roll, stayed there in the restaurant part. I heard things that he stayed in the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? You know, whoever it is, it could have been dealt a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't wish that for nobody. You know what I'm saying? I was brought up taking ass whoopings. You know what I'm saying? By my parents. You know what I'm saying? But if he walked away and was able to drive and do all that, there was nothing. Because when they showed Suge stomping them, Pac stomping them, Outlaw stomping, everybody stomping them.
Yeah.
If still could focus and shoot, it shouldn't even be that serious.
Yeah.
Sometimes think, you know what I'm saying, before they react.
Yeah. That's a hard thing to do with young boys. I tell you that now.
But see, yeah, this is a hard thing, but when they get inside that wall, they want to, what you doing? Why you ain't come see me? Cause you think you put somebody in my books? No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You should have thought about that when you was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we here today. I'm 52 years old. I went to jail one time for 7 days for trafficking and murder. And I came home, lied. I won by acquitted. I kept my distance as well. So I know you know what I'm saying? You can't betray you once you betray and set up, you're putting brakes on people.
Yeah.
Don't come around. I don't want you. You understand? And then when you rest and it happen again, it's time to pack up like a gypsy and be out.
Yeah.
But if he is somewhere smiling and be seeing this, laughing and joking, I'm not mad at him.
I ain't either. Yeah.
I want to get away. You know what I'm saying? So much stuff.
I feel you. I probably would have done the same thing if I had the mentality and going into it, knowing the vision. Because it feels like that boy had some vision that nobody ever had in their life. Because you can listen to Tupac music right now and still catch that vibe.
That's right.
Like, Picture Me Rolling. I love that song. That's one of my favorite songs that Pac ever did. And I can still hear that when in his voice. I can see it every time I hear it. And it's like, you want to know how? He said it, Picture Me Rolling. You know what I'm saying? That's it right there.
Yeah.
Well, man, I want to say thank you for joining me today. We about out of time. I just want to say thank you, and I want to give you a chance real quick to give a shout out to anybody you want to give a shout out to. Also, drop your social media, how people can find you. Anything you want to shout out real quick. Let's go ahead and drop that in right now.
I'd like to give a shout out to WDM SOAP. Rest in peace to my big road dog, Tupac Shakur, Gaddafi, Hussein Fatal, Tay One, and everybody else who had lost was, including the Migos, Nipsey Hussle. And I'd like to give a shout out to the Artifacts as well as Big Draws. Wow.
Yeah. Once again, it's your boy DJ Special D, aka that singer. We are here on Powered Up, and we're gonna be out. We'll holler at y'all another time. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll holler at y'all later.